Mr. Window, yay! Okay, y'all, let me try to make this bigger. I think I always use a different one, like where I'm smaller, right? Like, okay, so to lay this out now, for this part of everything is like it was 3 beatings that occurred. One for me, well, they were beatings for me, beatings for Ashley McGee, and beatings for Blake Omolade Schuler. Y'all, this is what's happening is like the people use this device as really used is for television. It started off as a device. I think it was like maybe through Egypt. Now I see why the pieces are flat, because I was laying down and I was like, okay, that's just like different positions that you lay down in. So when we look at Egyptian art, we don't think about the like how we lay down. Like it's like they're different positions that we actually put our bodies in during sleep. So all the stuff, like I'm trying to tell you, like the stuff is like it recorded our history from Egypt. Okay. So what's happened is that they have used this system to create television. They used it to create, first they used it to create the clock. The clock ended up enslaving them because the clock is how they got to the point of having simulations. Okay. So then you have NASA. So NASA comes through and now they can have simulations of space, right? So it just recreates the environment, but it'll recreate the living things in the environment because it was done in space. Okay. So then you have radio. That's sort of a simulation, and you have television, and then we have Wi-Fi and all these different things, computers. All this stuff comes from this technology that's connected to our family. That's how we ended up being the wealthiest people in the world. And our family is a family of engineers. So you also have light and electricity and the train system. All these things come from us. I am maybe I'm addicted to simple machines. So the train would be something that my family would probably come up with for real. So like I said, I'm connected to Abraham Lincoln. I'm one of his descendants. I'm his descendant. I don't know if it's from my mother's side or my father's side, but I know that the family that I'm adopted to is my real family too. They're my cousins. So what happened is when this person had the device, like George P. Bush, I don't know if he's my cousin or just a family friend. George P. Bush took the place of my brother. I'll show y'all a picture because then this also shows what I'm telling you about the simulation. So if you are in the simulation repeatedly, you will start to look like the person that you were simulating. So when I was younger, this was my sleeping buddy. So I left Aubrey when I was younger, and I was left in the hospital. So we were like together, like stuck together. I guess we came out like a little heart. So we were stuck together, right? So they took Aubrey because they later re-simulated what happened at the hospital. So they took Aubrey and they left me. I wasn't as dark as I am now. I was actually lighter. So this is my sleeping buddy. And then this is Aubrey Drake Graham, my brother. So if the person is repeatedly in the simulation, then they will start to look like the person that they are simulating. So Aubrey started to look like the person that he was simulating. So Aubrey, at some point, George and Aubrey look alike. And it's like when Aubrey was younger, right? So let's see if I can find those. When Aubrey was like thinner, when he was like 15, between 15 21, Aubrey was like thin, like right here. Y'all see what I'm saying? So this picture right here, him and George, they look similar, right? And it's because during the simulation, so him and George look similar. So when it's in a simulation and they repeat the simulation over and over again, they will look like this person. Unless they take something like me and my cousin Nikki, because we queens, like it's a device that we have, or it's like they cannot simulate us you could do our actions, but you cannot look like us. So what's happened is like him and Aubrey started to look alike because that's how we were fused together. So George would actually sleep with me like that. Like when we were little, we would just like, I think we would get in the car seat, right? We get in the car seat and we like huddle up together and just go to sleep. So that's what we would do. So what happens is like when I was with George P. Bush, the last time I went back to go see Aubrey. So during this time, they took me back after they kidnapped me, and I saw Aubrey again in Canada at the hotel. So me and Aubrey, once again, we fused together. So this is the re-simulation of how I got left at the hospital. So me and Aubrey were together, and we went to sleep. So we were stuck together when we went to sleep the same way me and George P. go to sleep together. So once we were stuck together, wait a minute, what did I do? So once we were stuck together, they snatched Aubrey from me because they don't know why we stuck together. Like they like, what are you stuck together for? So they snatch Aubrey from me and they take Aubrey in their arms. They take Aubrey and I'm standing there crying and shouting, the little boy has a part of me with him. The boy has a part of me with him. The little boy has a part of me with him. I do not have a New York accent, but I'm just saying, the little boy has a part of me with him. The little boy has a part of me with him. And they take him, leave me, and then I pass out again because they just always want to knock me out. So at that point, I wasn't with Billy. I was with the person that kidnapped me. So that's pretty much what happened. So now I get to the point of where George P. was like, when I saw him the next time. So now I get back to George P. Bush. And George P. just says, if we get any whippings, I'll take the whippings for us. They heard this, just like they heard my fake name on the device, right? They were eavesdropping. And they were looking for a reason to beat me, okay? So one day I went to go play because I never really go play. So I went to go play with Gerald and Beckley and her sister Terry Beckley at home. So sometimes at lunchtime I go over their house and play. Like I would just sneak over there and play. And I'm thinking that they are Jewish. So I would sneak over there and go play. But this time I didn't because it was like an ice storm. And I went to school anyway. Terrell wasn't going to school with me. So I was like in the fourth grade. It was like the winter of my fourth grade school year. So while I'm going over to play, I get stuck over there and I try to walk back at like 3-4 o'clock. So Sylvester was out looking for me. They were driving around and Sylvester saw me walking down the street. So he puts me in the car. I get to the house and they whoop me. They like actually beat me with an extension cord. So they just beat my legs with an extension cord. The neglect comes in when they leave us at the house by ourselves and they just drop food off to us. Like they don't like really like come and spend time with us. They just drop the food off to us and stuff like that. So they feed us all the time. They make sure we have clothes, all that stuff, but we don't have conversations. They just use the devices to like figure out what we're doing in the house if they sing. Because if they've been going through the device all day, it's like they don't even care. Sometimes they never even come back. So that was it. So then the next time I got a hickey, I told y'all they wanted me to look like this man that they said was Billy Thomas. So let me show y'all who they said was Billy Thomas Buckwheat. This is not Billy, but Buckwheat was older too. So when Billy adopted me, he was trying to actually, I guess, they were going to give me to Michael Jackson. So that's how Michael Jackson would have ended up being my father. So that's what it was. It's like they were actually going to adopt me to Michael Jackson. So they tried to stop me from being with my family. So let me see how this comes up. Okay, so let me share this screen. So that's what. So my sister, who was Sadie Thomas, she was getting me ready. Like when she's like, "Who gonna want you with your pretty eyes and your big old legs?" So it's like Michael was gonna want me. Like I would have went crazy, y'all. Michael Jackson's gonna want me, and not really go crazy, but I would have been with Michael. So it don't matter because they real nice anyway. And Nikki and Terrell, I guess they probably would have been with Janet or something like that because Terrell was like, he just loved Janet. So they would have had to take all three of us. So they would have had to take me, Nikki, and Terrell. And then they kept saying, take Chris. But they were telling this to Norville Mitchell. So this is the guy that they were claiming to say was Billy Thomas, and that's not him. This is not him. So all the pictures of Billy, they don't even have him on her for real because Billy is really a handsome man. Like Billy grew up and he was just handsome. Like this not even Billy. Whoever this dude is, it's like I don't see any pictures of him on her at all. I think I got a picture of him on one of my websites. And my websites are through Adobe. So they tried to actually steal my Adobe account so they wouldn't show that. So you guys wouldn't see a real picture of Billy. But I put a picture of him on my page, and I keep forgetting what it was. Was it for Crown Records or something like that? But yeah, none of these people are Billy. So here's this man again. They wanted him. They wanted me to look like him, y'all. So I hit my head. So I hit my head like right here. So I never looked like the man. They really wanted this man to be Billy. They wanted him to be my daddy. Like that's not my adopted daddy. It's because he come from Canada. His name is Bill English. No, that's not him. So look, y'all, I hit my head right here. I'm talking about it wasn't even, I just was going through the bars at the school and I just tapped my head like that. It's almost like somebody just ran and was like, wow. So I tapped my head. It didn't hurt or anything. And Sylvester was picking me up from school. So Sylvester saw what happened. Y'all, by the time I got home, it was the biggest hickey. So to their surprise, the hickey moved from her to my eye. So then it was like in my eye, so I couldn't see. So then it moved from my eye to like over here somewhere. So the hickey never was in the place they needed it to be. So then it moved from my eye from over here somewhere to my cheek. Y'all, they just kept me out of school because at that point I had a beating and I had a hickey. The next time I got a beating, every time the person that pretends to be Jamie's mother comes, she beats me too. So the next time I got a beating, I was in Cahokia at 38 Maryland. She beat me with switches for something. I don't even remember what it's for. I think for not cleaning up or something like that. And all of this is because the SWAT, that's what it was when I got to middle school. So that was before middle school. So I got a SWAT in middle school because the Tempe Horman, I said ass or something like that. I said a curse word. So I got a SWAT from the principal. And I told y'all he was acting like Jeb Bush. Like they were playing golf or something. I was looking at him like, why do he look like Jeb? I know this man. So the woman, which is pretending to be my grandmother, she's saying she's my grandmother, but she's supposed to be my mother. She's pretending to be my grandmother, but Thee would be my mother, right? So she's pretending to be her, and she wants him to swat me for real. She's real happy about him swatting me. So I get the SWAT there. So then, like I said, I got a beating at the beginning of high school with a switch. And I think after that, she stopped beating me. So then it came to Ashley McGee. So Ashley ended up getting a beating. First, she swept her legs because she got it from pre-K. So she was walking in pre-K. And I told y'all at some point we will sit down because the person is wrong. Somebody will make us just sit down and not do anything for these people. Because it's like, that's not your people. So she repeated what I did at the house in South City. So when I was in South City, I told y'all they wanted me to open the door. They'll put me up on top of the porch to open the door. One day I got in there and I didn't open the door. I just sat there. I think I locked all the doors and just sat there. I didn't let anybody in. So they didn't have a key. So they ended up having to use a magnet or something to open the door, to unlock the door to get in. Because I was just in there. I think I went to sleep. I ain't even joking. So then, what is it? What else am I telling you? So Ashley, when she started beating Ashley, it was because Sylvester left. So Sylvester left and she started beating her. That's how I knew that they were beating me, because Billy was nowhere to be found. Like, Billy wasn't around, so that was it. She wanted to beat me. She wanted to let me know that I don't have anybody to come save me. The same thing with Ashley, but it wasn't the same case. She was just doing a simulation. Later on, she did the same thing to Blake, like my son. So she was whooping Blake, saying that he was touching her breathing machine. That's not something that he would ever do. He's not like a kid that messes with stuff. So she just wanted to beat him. She just wanted to do the simulation. And it's actually the person that is always that's Jamie Foxx is saying is his mother, because she also came to the house to steal Terrell's voice. And I guess it was probably for Jamie, and that was in what year was All Cried Out? Because I think that's when it first came out. Okay, so it's 1985. So Terrell was singing the song, and she was like, "No, you come sing," because she had already got my voice from Texas for Beyonce. Y'all see what I'm saying? So it's like that's what it was. So it's like she stole Terrell's voice. So Aubrey uses Terrell's voice, and Aubrey now looks like my cousin Terrell. So now that Aubrey's all mellowed out and been through everybody and done everything, he's starting to look like Terrell. So like in this picture, I'm gonna show y'all real quick. He looks like my cousin Terrell, or our cousin Terrell, because he's Aubrey's cousin. He's Aubrey's cousin too. Isn't it awesome? We have the same cousins. Y'all, I'm so happy. Maybe that stopped him from getting beat up. I'm trying to stop him from getting beat up, y'all. But see right here, he looked just like Terrell. He looked like he Terrell's son. Y'all see what I'm saying? He looks like Terrell's son, as opposed to being my twin. See, because my nose goes up and his goes down. So anyway, yeah, he looks like Terrell's son. But yeah, Terrell gonna beat you up for using his voice. Aubrey, I just feel bad for you. Oh my God, look at this one, y'all. This picture is so cute. Ah, you are so cute. That is my brother, y'all. He is so cute. Terrell gonna beat him up. I just feel bad for you. I am not, he gonna punch you in your arm or something. I don't know what he's gonna do. Okay, so that's it right there. So I just met a guy too on a bus. Like I was telling him the same thing. The only reason you look like my cousin is because you were stuck in the simulation too long. Like they just kept repeating the simulation over and over again. So that's why you look like him. I was like, because my cousin would know my name. My cousin would know that my name is Ruby. So anyway, that's it. So yeah, I just wanted to go through that. So now I'm gonna go through the laws in the different states. So the first one is I think the first one I have might be Illinois or Missouri. Let me see. Let's see, it's Missouri. Where did I go? Okay, it's right here. Okay, so abuse, physical abuse. So I really did look up child abuse and neglect. So abuse means any physical injury inflicted on a child by other than accidental means by those responsible for the child's care, custody, and control. So I was like always tapped in the back with a needle, so much so my teeth were yellow. So I don't know what drug they were using, but it's a drug that turned my teeth yellow. Let me look that up too while I'm on here. Okay, so I found 5 medications. Let's look at these. It's 5 medications that can stain teeth. Uh-oh. Okay. Here we go. Let's look at this one here. So it says tetracycline is an antibiotic that can cause teeth to turn yellow, brown, or gray. It can also weaken enamel and cause cavities. Tetracycline is binds to calcium that the body uses to build teeth. The discoloration is permanent in the interior of the tooth, called the dentin. The discoloration can be removed from the outer layer of the tooth, called the enamel, with abrasive dental cleaning. I had my teeth whitened, so that he didn't really clean my. Children under 7 years old who are exposed to tetracycline can develop yellow teeth. Pregnant women should avoid tetracycline in the last half of the pregnancy. Other drugs that can stain teeth: antihistamines, anti-hypertension medications, inhaled cortisone, quarter corticosteroids, penicillin, and ciprofloxacin. So the only thing I would think would cause me to go to sleep, the only thing I want to look up is the ciprofloxacin. So then let's look at this. It says 5 medications that can cause tooth discoloration. Chlorhexidine is frequently encountered in dental settings. It's an antibacterial mouthwash. I'm looking for something that's going to make me go to sleep. Iron, tetracycline antibiotics, antihistamines, and rifampin. This medication is indicated for ladeno-active tuberculosis treatment. A common side effect of rifampin is orange discoloration of body secretion, sputum, urine, sweat, tears, and teeth. It can even stain contact lenses and clothing. Okay, so that's it. Like, I'm trying to see what it was that was making me go to sleep. So I'm gonna look this last one up. Oh my God, I cannot put the. Okay, sure this tab. All right, so here is this one, ciprofloxacin. It causes diarrhea, dizziness, confusion, seizures, rash, abnormal heart rhythm, nerve damage, chest tightness or heaviness, breathing problems or wheezing, itching, hepatotoxicity, nausea, photosensitivity, agitation, allergic reaction, anxiety, changes in urination, depression, headache, joint problems, kidney problems, liver changes, low blood sugar, and mood changes. It makes sense because I was passing out. So this could be the drug. And I'll just put this. Isn't that crazy? So all this time I thought it was tetracycline. It's going to be this drug right here. Okay, so that's what it was. That's what I had to look up in order to find. So it makes sense that this would be the drug that he probably hit me with. Ciprofloxacin. Okay, so now let's get back to this Missouri child abuse. So then it's neglect. So neglect means failure to provide by those responsible for care, custody, control of the child, proper or necessary support, education as required by law, nutritional, medical, surgical, or any other care necessary for a child's well-being. The only thing is like they would not feed me. They would change my clothes. I think they did my hair, stuff like that, but they just didn't feed me. Sexual abuse and exploitation. The term abuse includes sexual abuse. Victims of neglect also shall include any victims of sex trafficking or severe forms of trafficking, as those terms are defined in federal law. The term abuse includes emotional abuse inflicted on the child by those responsible for the child's care, custody, and control, which is the truth. This issue is not, they were always like, it's always like, okay, like I told y'all, Terrell stayed out all night one night, and he he ended up having to stay at the person's house all night. He finally got home the next day, and he was scared to come home because I got beat so bad, right? So the person wanted me to be like, well, you didn't whoop him. You mean to tell me you want me to get my cousins in trouble with a damn kidnapper, bitch? You want me to get my cousin in trouble with a kidnapper? This woman is in there. She was saying this on the device, like, oh, like I was gonna say that, or I had to feel a certain way. She wanted me to be like upset about it. And it's like, I'm not upset. The woman came downstairs and was doing like a horn, like, because he stayed out all night. So she thought he was drinking or something. She thought he got drunk or something like that. He was still trying to get some sleep. He said he was trying to get out the window. Like, this girl really hurt his feelings. She had him locked in a closet or something like that. So, y'all, when I tell you, he was just so scared. When he came home, he just went to sleep. That's why I was like, boys are really sweet. Y'all, he didn't want to do wrong at all. The girl was trying to make him do wrong. The woman came down, fun, 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 with the horn and celebrated him and stuff. You said, and I got a beating. So the person really wanted me to have an emotional issue with what was going on. I'm getting sick, y'all. The person really wanted me to have like an emotional issue with what was going on, and I didn't. And so it's like, I don't have anything to say. They can do whatever they need to do. So I'm not that type of person. So it's like, yes, they wanted to. They always wanted me to have some type of emotional abuse. Even now, citation. Okay, let's see. They saying a report is required when a mandatory report that has reasonable cause to suspect that a child has been or may be subjected to abuse or neglect, or observes a child being subjected to conditions or circumstances that would reasonably result in abuse or neglect. The term those responsible for the care, custody, and child is not limited to the guardians, the members of the household, who's ever exercising and supervision, all these different things. So that's in Missouri. So then, what is this, Illinois? It might be the same, y'all. Abused child means a child whose parent, immediate family member, any person responsible for the child's welfare, any individual residing in the same home as the child, or a parent member of the child's parent does any of the following: inflicts, causes, allows to be inflicted or inflicted, because they would set us up, y'all. Create substantial risk, and they did all of this in Illinois. So this is the one that's important. Creates a substantial risk of physical injury by another accidental means that causes death, disfigurement, impairment, or physical or emotional health, or loss of impairment of any bodily function. Commits or allows to be committed an act or acts of torture upon the child. Inflicts excessive corporal punishment. Commits or allows to be committed the offense of female genital mutilation. Causes a controlled substance to be sold, transferred, distributed, or given to the child under age 18 in violation of Illinois Controlled Substances Acts of Methamphetamine Control and Community Protection. Commits or allows to be committed the offense of involuntary servitude, involuntary sexual servitude of a minor, or trafficking in the persons. Yes, y'all. Commits the offense of grooming. Yep. Against the child, because Joel King is like a person that seems like he grooms for his father. Like he really is a pedophile. Like he's like a pedophile's child. Joel King acts like a pedophile himself. And they kept stalking me in school. So they kept coming after me. I would say Jack Gibson is a groomer, and I would say Shamar White is a groomer. Antoinette Guthrie the same way. It's like they get the device, y'all, and it's like that's all they want to do is just use the device. She was even trying to groom Mo. She was trying to make Gerald Maurice Rankin into just a little hoe or something. Like, I don't know who she was trying to make him into. Y'all, they are all groomers. They all like older than me, and they outfaith me. They all wanted me to continue to be sexually exploited. Okay. And they want to continue to steal from me. So the neglected child means, and I was in Illinois. Neglected child means any child to whom any of the following applies. Is not receiving proper or necessary nourishment. They made sure I'm not gonna read all of it. They made sure they fed us. It's not receiving other care necessary for well-being. Like Nikki and Terrell they did not go to, Terrell needed glasses. He never got glasses. They didn't go to the dentist at all. They didn't go to the doctor. And then she kidnapped Nikki's children. So Nikki and Terrell were neglected. Is subjected to an environment that is injurious insofar the child's environment creates a likelihood of harm to the child's health, the likely harm to a child as a result of blatant disregard of parent or caregiver responsibilities. They tried to, I think they didn't want us to have dental records. Has been provided with interim crisis intervention. Like we never were told that our family passed away. And then sexual exploitation. The term abused child includes a child whose parent, immediate family member, person responsible for child's welfare, individual residing in the same home as a child, or paramour of the child's parent commits or allows to be committed any sex offense against the child, as such sex offenses are allowed. So the person will be in the room with us and want me to like hump on my sister or something like that. Like it'll be like, not only that, it'll be like the person would want to touch me and stuff like that. You can't see the person, but he'll want to like slide his finger on me or something like that. Marquita Hodges went through the same thing. And so we would play, we would just talk about it when we playing. The term abused child includes impairment or substantial risk of impairment to the child's emotional health. So all this stuff is true. Like we could really get them to go to jail in Illinois. So Missouri is okay, but it's like it's not enough. Like it's like Illinois laid that shit out. I'm not joking. In this case, Illinois wins. And then we have Texas. I only had to deal with Norvell and Need in Texas, but she did stick me with the needle, or she made me pass out. So that was it. She never whooped me or anything. They didn't. I got a spanking from Norville, but it was anything. So I never was like physically abused there. I wasn't sexually abused. The only thing that happened is that Jackie asked me to eat her vagina, and that was because the Southside rapist would eat my vagina. So that's what I found out. He was like just eating my vagina, repeatedly eating my vagina, and sometimes putting his penis in my vagina. What else? The sexual abuse, emotional abuse, not really, because it's like Norville kind of stayed away from me. I just didn't like him getting mad at me, so that's the emotional abuse. And then Neat, she never did anything. It's just the big fact that Beyonce is Neat's family. So if Beyonce is Neat's family, then that's the problem, because she actually ended up getting the stuff. Y'all see what I'm saying? She ended up getting my stuff and then trying to act like she was me and all this different stuff. And she was probably doing it before Neat knew about it. Okay, now let's look at Louisiana. So yeah, nothing really happened in Louisiana. I told y'all they went to houses and stole all the meat and stuff. I just went over this in the story where they went to one of our houses, and we sat out on the porch. Me, Nikki, and Terrell on the porch on the thing. I guess they were probably taking the devices out the ceilings. It's the one in Webster Grove, and they stole all the meat out of there. So when Norvell and his friends got the stuff back, they just went to people's houses and stole their deep freezers. They just took the whole deep freezer. They put all the food in the car. They just kept putting all the food from in the house in the car. Physical abuse. That's it. Like this is in Louisiana. I never incurred any physical abuse in Louisiana. It's kidnapping. I never incurred any neglect. Beyonce tried to touch my vagina, so that's the only sexual abuse or exploitation or whatever. And I think Beyonce actually older than me. I just never had any of these issues in Louisiana. I just wanted to look it up to see what was going on. So I can't really say, oh God, I did this happened in Louisiana. And then California. So in California, um, there wasn't any physical abuse, but there was emotional abuse and I think sexual abuse. So the person kind of showed up there to like sexually abuse me in California. And then emotional abuse, it was like Elvira just wanted me not to be the kid with the money. It's like she wanted to make the person Candy. She wanted Candy to be the new girl. So Candy cannot replace me on the device. Y'all just end up being bad or acting mean like Candy, and that's it. So that was it. So Elvira thought that Candy could replace me. That's why June threw me out the house because Candy was coming. So June thought that Candy could be me. And that was it. So that was like emotional abuse and sexual abuse and exploitation because she was also using me to get a husband. So she was using this stuff for me having a boyfriend to get her husband to marry her. And then I thought I'd look it up in Canada. In Canada, what is child abuse? The term child abuse refers to the violence, mistreatment, or neglect that a child or adolescent may experience while in the care of someone they either trust or depend on, such as a parent, sibling, or other relative, caregiver, or guardian. Abuse may take place anywhere and may occur, for example, within the child's home or that of someone known to the child. There are different forms of abuse. Physical abuse, they kept sticking me with the needle. I told y'all sexual abuse and exploitation. The person raped me. Neglect, they didn't feed me. Emotional abuse, they always want me to like feel like somebody else could replace me, especially like in the show for the shows and all that different stuff. So it's like it wasn't that important to me at the time because it's like at this point, dude, I'm not even awake. I don't know if I'm alive or not. Somebody was saying that the man actually had to like bring me back to life because I think I probably was dead or something. That's why he was like, come back, come back, come on back, come on back. You know what I'm saying? So that was it. I think he was just bringing me back to life. That's all. I guess the device stopped working. They wanted the device to work, so they was just using me for the device to work. Knowing they killed me, y'all. Knowing they killed me, they was gonna leave me at 5305 dead. Do you hear me? So, and when I say 5305, that's 5305 Belmont in East St. Louis, Illinois. They were gonna leave me there to die. So if I didn't have the device in me, it wouldn't work for them at all. So that's it. I just want to go through like what abuse is, like what child abuse is, like how it occurs. So child abuse also is physical abuse, neglect, sexual exploitation, sexual abuse. You see what I'm saying? So all the main things happen in Illinois and some things happen in Missouri, and that's it. The rest of the stuff is emotional abuse, and that's it. So I just wanted you guys to know how that looks within the law and how that looks within the court and how it occurred for all five of us. Nikki went through a lot of emotional abuse, which is Angela Nicole Thomas. She went through a lot of emotional abuse. Terrell, she started to try to physically abuse Terrell, like use like throwing frying pans at him and stuff like that. Angela, she would probably set her up to be beat. Like they always set it up like where our friends would like they wouldn't be our friends anymore. They'll be like, so what? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, that's not a good friend. So the woman would be like, so what? Like that's what friends do. She really wanted me to stay friends with Faith. And Faith was like sleeping around with my boyfriends and stuff like that. So it's like, and she be like, whatever. So then Candy steals. So then I'd be like, oh my God, I don't want to do that because she stole this from me. She's like, well, people steal. She always takes up for my enemy as opposed to just taking up for me. So some of that is like all this, like just emotional abuse. Like, and then like y'all, the other people would be wrong. She'd be like, no, you're wrong. You're the one that's wrong. And they'll try to make me apologize and all this stuff. Like, fuck you. No, I'm not apologizing. And so that was it. Like, it just got to be too much. You see what I'm saying? It got to be too much because at this point, you are wrong. And you're not about to keep me in a situation where I'm constantly within crimes and all this. I don't want to do that. So anyway, that's it. And all the people that helped her, like Miss Thompson, she was killed. Kat was killed, which is Shante Green's mother. Now I just told everybody about Shante Green. She came to the house at 38 Maryland. I don't think that's her, but anyway, she came to 38 Maryland with her brother, and Kat was her mother. Kat was like trying to use us to help her pay bills and stuff like that. Like, not to like actually pay it with our money. It's like Kat was like kind of slow, so Shante would have to go and take care of the business. So what happens is, I told y'all it was two of them. So one of them would hang out with Kat, so she already knew the situation. The other one would come back, and then she would make me go pay bills too, because that's what Shante did. Shante Green did. So she would have me repeat what the other person was doing. So I wasn't like running. So she'd take me she'd go to the water company, pay the bill because the water about to get cut off. Ramped up to the water company, pay the bill because the water about to get cut off. But that was because Shante Green stayed at the house. So they would just listen and try to repeat what the other person was doing. And so Jamie's mama, she the one that liked to bring the beating. She the one that liked to beat us all the time. So you see what I'm saying? I want to press charges. What else? That's it. So they always want to repeat assimilation. It's just because it's just through eavesdropping. That's all it was. It was just a bunch of eavesdropping. So anyway, that's it. You guys have a good day. Have a good day. Good day. Good day.